well, it's going to pull up into what's going to look like a loop, but in actual fact, they're going to do what the big fixed-wing boys do. Coming round the corner there, they're just going to poke the cycling forward, hang it on there, then roll it, and yes, that is a helicopter half Cuban. So they come back into the middle now, put it through a tight 270-degree turn, and go out to what we call the axis. That's a line going out over the top of the control tower. None of this made up, it is happening for real. And they're going to throw in yet another loop just for a positioning as they go out to do their next manoeuvre. So here you go, now you can see it's head on or tail on, so to speak, the fully aerobatic Mark 7 Lynx, the trademark display of Army aviation for the last 20 years or so, and a substantial part of the many Blue Eagles displays that, of course, will run for the best part of 40 years. Now, it's a lovely silhouette coming up here as they put in just a big standard pedal turn. Both the crew here today are instructors with 671 Squadron at Middle Wallop. They're tasked with training brand new students, or reconverting old ones, or refreshing pilots who've been on other marks of the Lynx back onto this Mark 7 in its last year now of service with Army Aviation. Climbing up now to about 700-800 feet. The crew now checking stability, T's and P's, all those calls to matching talks, because this is the first of the trademark Army Air Corps manoeuvres. Stand by with your cameras. The backflip. Well, how do they do that? It's all down to a thing called the semi-rigid titanium head. And you can see easily from that picture there of just how rigid the blades are. Most other helicopters have very floppy blades, so not the sort of thing you'd be able to do. Now, as they go into what they think is a stall turn, they're going to hold it there. This is their hanging version, and look, it's just suspended in midair. And this is not a lightweight helicopter. It's involved in general battlefield work. It's not modified in any way for displays. And these guys routine work Monday to Friday, training other pilots. You will see the Wildcats later on during the show, both in the air from the Royal Navy and the Army Air Corps. And the Army Air Corps also has two on static display with the recruiting team. More on that a little later on. Now, who's the mastermind behind it? Well, it's Warrant Officer Class 1, Nick Clementine, and alongside him, Captain Neil Posthumus. A very talented instructor, was a big wing aerobatic instructor for a while. Going to push it right up now, all the blood going way over the top, all the blood now rushing to the head, looking straight down at the earth. Kildee won prizes at every stage of his flying training, and it's a great credit to the Army Air Corps. We have warrant officers displaying both the Lynx and the Apache this year. The Apache unable to make it to Yeovilton sadly this year, but doing extremely well, both crews impressing. And this team, the winners of the King Hussein Memorial Award for the best overall flying demonstration at the Royal International Institute. And zooming up again, they're going to do exactly the same now, push the cycling forward, very uncomfortable feeling, looking straight down, a cockpit full of earth. Very neat recovery. Now these aircraft, of course, synonymous also with Cold War operations, armed with tow missiles. They would have formed part of what we call a Helam. They were used in anger in Gulf War in 1990-91, but also synonymous with Operation Banner in Northern Ireland for many years, where they would conduct what we call Eagle VCPs. That's conducting snatch checkpoints on vehicle checks and apprehensions, so on and so forth, all with the counter-terrorist work that was being undertaken at that time. In a reverse transition now, about 40 to 50 knots, both crew focusing ahead of them as they fly backwards. But now they're going to put the tail up this time, straight up, turn it around, 180 in the other direction. Now the Lynx, of course, still holds the world's helicopter speed record, just a shade under 250 miles an hour, set over 25 years ago. So a very well-designed and thoroughbred aircraft with all the various marks. We're going to see Mark 8s flying here later on today. The Mark 7, the workhorse of Army Aviation. So keep your eyes peeled now, because if this is the first time, this is something to focus on. The last time you'll see it today, again, Captain Postmus in the other seat now, just checking all the T's and P's and stability talks. No backflip. Yet, that's really kind yet. It is remarkable to see this, isn't it? It is quite unique, and in a way, not a tragedy. We have to move on in aviation, and these aircraft get tired. They will be replaced by the Wildcat next year, but nonetheless, it's great to get this aircraft out around to the UK and show you what the Army aviators do as well. Captain Postmus, actually from South Africa, joined the Army Air Corps, and went off and specialised in some of the jungle and Arctic warfare work that the specialists undertake. The crew now positioning in front of you, they can see their landing lights way back to the cockpit. You're stood in front of them and they give you a little nod, please give them a wave back. Yeah, the super staff, they're acknowledging that, they've got you in their sights with the landing lamp. Very, very smooth and a very neat rearwards transition. They're actually going to very quickly put the aircraft back on the ground in a moment to get a fast refuel, and then they're heading off north to Sunderland to entertain a very large seaside crowd up there today. So for the rest of this year, the instructors at 671 Squadron doing the last batch of what we call conversion to type and conversion to role training. And then early next year, we already have pilots here at Yeovilton converting onto the Wildcat. Mark 7 Now I think they may have just put in a turn here. Just chatting about. Of course, there is another, I think, the pleasure flights they're referring